Are you ready to take your small business know-how and mindset to the next level? Then check out my new Crank and Boom Substack, The Scoop. On this platform, not only do I write about topics we're covering here on the Crank and Boom podcast, but I do a deeper dive into them along with some personal anecdotes that take you behind the scenes of what it takes to build your dream business. Plus, there'll be some other content that I love, like travel, foodie things, and other fun stuff that you won't get anywhere else. Subscribe today at crankandboom.com, and I'll see you over on Substack. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Crank and Boom podcast. I'm your host, Tao Green. I opened a Thai restaurant with my family 17 years ago that has since morphed into a multi-million-dollar ice cream business. I have the honor of leading 30-plus teammates to fulfill our company's mission: create joy, ignite laughter, and inspire compassion. And now I get to share my experiences of building this incredible business with you. On the show, we chat all things small business, family, and life, and how we can do it all with a little bit more purpose and in community. I am so glad that you are here. This is the Crank and Boom podcast. Taking the time to look back and reflect on your journey as an entrepreneur is not just a ritual to phone in. It's a powerful instrument for growth and success. When you look back at the year that has passed, you gain an understanding of what worked and what didn't work. It's in these moments of reflection that you find seeds of growth and transformation. You learn from your experiences and you become hopefully a little wiser and a little more resilient as an entrepreneur. It's really beneficial to take that moment to pause and to take a look at the path that you've walked over the last year and envision the path that lies ahead. In this episode, I'll give you some insight on what I do as an entrepreneur to review last year's progress and pain points, and then give myself a chance to map out what the next season will look like. All in the spirit of celebrating the good, reasoning through the problem areas, and gearing up my mind for what is to come. So, let's get into it. This year looks very different than this time last year for me. Last year, we were still in and out of the hospital with my dad. There was clearly no room for any sort of planning for the business. All that we were able to do was to just tell our team, just do the best you can. We're not going to do anything new. We're not going to try to initiate or change anything big. And that's actually what kind of flooded into 2023. Overall, in terms of the regular operations of the store, we didn't do any major changes. We didn't try to do a new project. We just kind of did the regular stuff that we do. And then now, as we're going into the new year, I can start stepping forward into what I'm really excited about in the business. I will give you a few ideas for what we are doing to kind of plan for 2024. I do a worked and what didn't work list. And so I will write down everything in the business that I feel like worked really well. We need to do again. If it's program, or if it's a flavor rhythm, or if it's a way that we structure staffing, whatever worked goes in the worked list. Things that didn't work or need a little more fine tuning, the problem list. Usually the problem list is much bigger than the worked list. And then I can take the what didn't work list and start prioritizing the things that I feel like are the most urgent and need to be tackled the first. Then the work list gets to move on and go back into the regular rhythms of what we're going to do. That's one list that I work on. The other list that I work on is just my brain dump. I live and die by these giant Post-it notes made by Post-it at 3M, and they are literally giant Post-it notes that stick on the wall. I have some open space in my bedroom and also downstairs that when my brain gets so full and I need to work through all of that clutter in my head, I just get a giant Post-it note and I start writing, and just getting it on the paper is just so nice. I also will take notes on my phone. And so I'll transfer those notes onto the big piece of paper too, because if you're a serial entrepreneur like me, you have ideas all the time. They never stop. So I just need a space to put all those ideas, because I'm not going to be able to do anything about all of them. But I just like to know that it's written down somewhere in case I want to come back to it. And then I can go on the big brain dump list and also prioritize and say, okay, I think we can do that this year. That seems reasonable. One of the things that can really come out of this kind of list making process, particularly the worked and didn't work list, is I will find different tensions in the business. And that can be financial, that can be personnel, that can be a program that we do or a service that we offer. And if it's in that didn't work list, and it can be, I need to tweak it a little bit, but I don't know how. So then we also will take that nugget if we're in a meeting and we'll say, hey, I need some ideas on how we can make this better, because I will get stuck in my brain. Being able to get that feedback from the teammates who are on the front line, getting customer feedback in real time is so vital and crucial. One of the things that I really want to emphasize when you're looking at that do not work list is like, you don't have to be tied to things just because you've just always done it that way. And I think that's the whole story of entrepreneurship is, how do these companies last 100 years, 150 years, 30 years? They didn't do it by doing the exact same thing all the time, forever and ever, amen, because you have to change and you have to adapt all the time. I'll use this example. This program called Small Batch Club has been a foundational part of our business and who we are and how we fulfill our mission. The Small Batch Club was created right when COVID started, and we decided we were going to do a brand new flavor every single week, which in the ice cream world is completely bonkers. Like, nobody does that. And it just became this whole thing, this program that I love so dearly and has been such a pinnacle part and foundational part of what we do. I was like, I just don't feel like it's serving its purpose anymore in the way that it exists right now. And so we're actually shifting what Small Batch Club is going to be in 2024. And we're shifting to a model where we're going to have 5 flavors that we do the entire month. Because one of the issues that has popped up is it goes so fast that the people who love that flavor that comes once a year, that was their only chance to get it, and then they miss out. So by having flavors there for a whole month, we have the opportunity to have it around longer, people get to enjoy it longer, and then we have more time to tell people about it. And for us and our production team, we're not having to do that very rigorous rhythm of putting out a new flavor every week, which is pretty arduous. So I'm excited about that change. I think it's important to evaluate what you're doing. Is it serving you? Is it serving you? Is it serving your business? Is it serving your team? And if it's not, it either should just get killed or it needs to evolve somehow. And I feel like that is the task of any entrepreneur, is always figuring out this puzzle of what's working and what's not working. If you've been here for a while, you know that I incorporate community in everything I do. It fuels every decision I make about my life and my company. Our beloved sponsors, Holly Hill & Co., also share the same love for community. In fact, their love of community is why they work so hard to highlight local produce in all 9 of their Central Kentucky restaurants, like Zim's in downtown Lexington, Honeywood at the Summit, and the historic Holly Hill Inn in Midway. So you can experience what it means to connect the farmer and the food to your family's table. And now they've expanded their offerings to the community by opening a new cooking studio and retail store. You can take cooking classes with the very famous James Beard-nominated Chef Weta Michael herself and learn about how to make the most out of your farmer's market haul or how to craft the perfect bourbon menu. And while you're there, shop the handcrafted goods and thoughtfully curated gift sets for your friends and family. Learn more about their new cooking studio and retail store in downtown Versailles, Kentucky by visiting hollyhillandco.com. Again, that's hollyhillandco.com, and let them know Tal from the Crank and Boom podcast sent you. The holiday season is here, and it's the perfect time to celebrate amazing food with your friends and family. I've learned when running a business that it's so important to take time out to share special moments with your loved ones, and I can't stress this enough. So when you're making plans to create magical moments for the holidays, remember that Goldbelly can make your holiday unforgettable. Whether it's Ina Garten's carrot cake for a special holiday dinner or Crank and Boom's Flavors of Kentucky ice cream collection for your special holiday gifts, Goldbelly can deliver it right to your door. Don't miss out on Goldbelly's incredible offerings this holiday season. Head to goldbelly.com and make your celebrations and gift giving this season even sweeter. When it comes to either the holiday season or coming up for this coming year, I use what is known around here as the magic calendar. It is a specific calendar that's a year calendar that is foldable that I get off of Amazon every year. It folds out and I'm able to see every single quarter in a row. So 3 months at a time. And then we can plan out each quarter for the big events that are coming up. So it basically becomes my marketing calendar, which dictates what flavors we're going to do, what specials we're going to do. Everything we do marketing wise or anything special goes onto that calendar. Now, this year, I'm doing something new and I'm getting a second magic calendar for our personal life. And so I know that next year we'd like to go on a summer trip right before the kids go to school. That's early August. Then I know that we are going to go to ConeCon 2024. Those dates are already locked in. Anything that we know the dates are already locked in for something, I'm going to put on the magic calendar for the business and for personal. Going back to the business marketing calendar, my goal is by December 31st, we have the whole calendar planned out. And that means we can plan better as a team. We can see the whole macro of what the whole year looks like. That's the one great thing about ice cream and the seasonality of what we do. We can predict very closely to what will probably happen in terms of sales, what flavors are popular, and that sort of thing. I just love the idea of being able to put a nice little bow, literally a little holiday bow on this year, and then get the sparklers out and celebrate the new year that is to come. Because a new year is new possibilities and new potential and new opportunities for whatever to happen. I am always on the hunt for how we can support our team better. As a small business, sometimes it's challenging financially to be able to offer all the perks that a giant company would be able to do, but I feel like there's still ways that we can still support our team and bring them value in some way as employers and teammates so that we can help everyone who comes through our doors on whatever journey that they're on. I'm excited to do more things with the podcast. We're going to actually drop down to having episodes twice a month. That is for me to be able to step back and have more time to plan and be more involved in the business itself. And then also make sure that we are really putting together really quality episodes. And it also gives me space to do something new, which is have in-person events. If you are looking for friends who are in the same boat as you, or you're thinking of starting a business, or you're a seasoned business person who just wants to have some camaraderie, I'm really excited to help build that community because we all can't do this alone. So the podcast, I think, has been healing for me to be able to have a space where I can share my heart and the impact that it's been able to make on people who come up to me who I know or don't know and say, I listened to this chunk of your episode and it really resonated with me or it stuck with me. I mean, that is amazing. And just the most incredible part of this whole process. The podcast has been like the funnest project for me, and I'm excited to see what other fun things we get to do with it. I hope you have a wonderful end of your 2023 and many blessings of joy and love for your 2024. Thank you for being on this journey with me on this podcast. We have more fun, amazing episodes to come. I would love to hear your feedback on what you'd love to hear more about. Thank you for letting me have this platform to share my story and share my heart. I appreciate you all so, so much. Thank you so much for listening to the Crank and Boom podcast. If you want business advice and tactics like this every week, click that follow button wherever you listen to your podcast so you never miss an episode with us. Also, if you like what you heard today, it would mean so very much to me if you would leave us a review that helps other people find us. Leave a note on what topics you want me to cover more of, because we would love to hear from you. I can't wait to meet you here again very soon. Until next time, peace!
This is a production of Four Eyes Media.